This is a continuous improvement movement reserved for the few with the grit to prove it. Everybody claim, but the click exclusive. Many pursue, but it's too elusive.
Hey everybody, this is Calvin with Impruver, and I have the privilege and the honor to be here with a good friend of mine and partner now of mine, Mr. Russ Thorne. I think I met Russ probably a year and a half ago during a ASCM event. He's a president emeritus with the Association of Supply Chain Management, and I think he does some other stuff with the organization. And he recently completed the Impruver Accelerator as part of his Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certification through the Impruver program. So, Russ, if you want to provide a brief introduction before we jump into a few questions about your experience.
Sure. I'm Russ Thorne. As Calvin said, I'm past president of the Association for Supply Chain Management. I've been in production supervision and production planning and supply chain planning for almost 40 years now. And so the Green Belt certification seemed to be a good addition to my background at this point.
That's excellent. Okay, good. So you were among the lot that chose to do more of a personal goal for your accelerator challenge, right? To as a way to learn the PDCA process, as a way to execute a project, and you chose more of a personal project. So tell us a little bit about your goal and why you chose that goal.
So my goal had to do with getting back into the gym. I'm an active runner, but I've been coming through some health issues over the last year and a half, and I really needed some motivation to keep me on track and to push me a little harder into this. We set the goal as minutes per week, active minutes per week, and that would include my run time and the gym time that I was building in. And because I didn't want to get all my active minutes, use those up on a long run. So I needed to add something in there.
What kind of results did you achieve throughout the 6-week program?
Oh, I actually exceeded my goal, and we increased that towards the end, and I think I surpassed that as well. I believe the goal began at 41 minutes per day, and that was a good improvement already. So through the course of the process, I met that goal. Later on in the process, we bumped that number up to 60 minutes per day, and we exceeded that as well.
Yeah.
So one of the things that the process really helped me with was identifying what could cause the deviation. And one of the biggest causes of not exercising in this case would be getting hurt, especially when I haven't been in the gym for quite a while. So we put into place like a plan to do a 10-minute warm-up every time I went in. And then we also supplemented that with 10 minutes of either stretching or foam rolling after the workout. So, all that kind of combined to keep me from getting hurt and allowed me to keep on putting in the time.
So what's fascinating about your story is that this is a program that challenges people to be more disciplined. And in your case, you right away, right out of the gate, showed a remarkable amount of discipline, self-discipline. And I think you had set the goal. You said it was 45 minutes to start, and you ended up working it up to 60 minutes, maybe 60 minutes a day. Man, for folks to get out and get a good workout in every single day and put in 60 minutes every single day, that's a pretty inspiring story. And I remember as we were going through the accelerator, I was the coach, but I remember thinking like, man, Russ is doing the thing I should have been doing for the last, I don't know how long, 10, 15 years. I felt like I'm behind schedule on that. But I would say your level of self-discipline and to get out and motivation to get out and work out and do good by your health is a pretty inspiring story. So I certainly appreciate what you've done. So of all the improvements you made, I think over the 6 week cycle, you end up making about 11 improvements if you do it right on schedule, right? It's it's one improvement in the first week, two in the second, three in the third, and then five in the last week. What do you feel were the two or three most impactful changes you made?
I would have to say the setting the warm up and the cool down for one, the stretching or foam rolling, uh, those definitely help prevent me from getting hurt. Seemed like there was one, it didn't work so well. I mean, I could do it, but when you're in the process of doing it, it's not having the desired effect. So going back and being able to reverse that and say, okay, you know what? This wasn't the best of ideas here.
Mm,
Let me change that to, plan B. And that seemed
hmm.
to work out a lot better.
That's a very important point because everything you do is an experiment, right? There's no way to know beforehand how impactful it's going to be and whether or not it's something you should continue doing beyond the experiment. But the key is to kind of discover what does work in a lot less time than you otherwise would, which it sounds like you were certainly able to do. So it sounds like some of those things stuck. I'm just curious, are you still doing carrying some of those best practices into now?
I am.
That's great, man. Like I say, your story is quite inspiring. Why did you decide to join the accelerator in the Lean Six Sigma Green Belt program?
Well, I had certifications in production and inventory management and certified supply chain professional through ASCM, but I wanted something that was a little more focused on work in general or life in general. I think we
Mm,
proved that we could use that for everything, right?
hmm.
And it was just a good way to stay engaged and be more focused and pretty much accomplish things I set my mind to do.
That's it, right? Because yeah, I mean the basic foundation of the accelerator and lean period, right, comes from PDCA, right? And that's universally applicable. And if you really break down PDCA, what it really is just a scientific method, right? It's form a hypothesis, do it, do the experiment, and then check the result afterward, right? That's essentially the same as PDCA in at its core.
Right.
It's been adapted by W. Edward Deming and everybody else, but it's just a method of scientific thinking. It's interesting that you were able to apply scientific thinking to a fitness goal, like personal fitness goal. And I know myself included, a lot of people who could benefit from from doing something similar to what you did. So what did you like about the program though? What were you most impressed by?
I like how, I mean, I had a little bit of a background in lean already, and so I liked how it kind of tied in my professional life into my personal life, and
Mm,
taking those concepts of lean and moving it into uh, day-to-day living. I liked, I actually liked the documentation and the following up, and just it kept you focused, and
mm,
I liked, the emphasis on cutting out the deviation and or the waste. You know, we can overprocess a lot of things and waste a lot of time and get no good results from it. The accelerator program, I think, helped me to understand more of that and, like I said, apply my professional learnings to my personal life.
that's great, Russ. I appreciate what you've done, what you brought to the accelerator. We got some really interesting case studies as such. One gentleman used 5S in his garage, right? His goal was to be able to find any tool in his garage in less than a minute.
Oh,
And yeah, so he took all the 5S and visual management and he went way above and beyond creating like a spreadsheet that logged every single tool. He had hundreds of tools down to nuts and bolts and exactly where they're stored and all that stuff. So he could send a complete stranger in his garage, say, "Hey, go find this screwdriver, this exact screwdriver," and based on his whole setup, they could find it within less than a minute. And yeah, so I mean the concepts, like I say, are universally applicable. And you certainly did an excellent job applying it in your unique situation. So appreciate you for that. And congratulations on your certification. I think you're about done with your coursework and everything for the green belt too, or close to it.
I hope so.
Yeah, I guess so. Guess we can go check and find out. But good work. I have no doubt you'll blow it out and go a lot further with it. So so that's our time, everybody. Appreciate you making time to check in with us. If you're interested in learning more about the accelerator, come check us out at improver.com and look for the link for the accelerator and sign up for a future cohort. In fact, Russ has expressed interest in going on and coaching others as well. So if you're interested in having Russ as a coach after hearing his phenomenal story, that can certainly be arranged as well. So otherwise, thank you for your time, and make sure to tune in with us next time. Have a fantastic day.
Queen that could really get down for show. Connected in Colombia and Mexico. Accelerated past you, check the scope. Just in time, not a second slow. From the top flow to the shop.